Hand clap to the massive, guys. We are finally back again for another reaction on the one and only Mystelics reaction channel, guys. Big up all the Mystelics YouTube family. Have definitely tuning into this here. Another reaction of today, guys. The second one. Of course, you can check out the previous one in the first comment in the comment box below, guys. But of course, big up all the Mystelics YouTube family, guys. Give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate that right there. Click the thumbs up button one time. That helps the algorithm of this here YouTube videos to be pushed further and further right there. And of course, the newcomers out there, big up all yourself as well for definitely tuning into this here reaction video, guys. It's rather interesting, some of the things that is taking place in Dominica, but we're trying to dissect things. This is why you have to definitely check out the previous reaction of today, and of course definitely tune in for this one right there. The president is giving his thoughts on electoral reform, guys. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into the vibrations right there, guys. But of course, don't forget the newcomers out there, definitely subscribe for more vibrations as they tend to come through. Subscribe, click the bell, and then click all, and you get all the videos as they tend to come through right there. Dennis BYRON also responded, but let us take it bit by bit, guys. Let us take it bit by bit right there.
Mr. Speaker, there is the unfinished business of electoral reform.
He knows this.
And I would urge members on both sides of this honorable house.
So this is February 10, 2020, sorry.
And the public at large to approach the debate on electoral reform from the point of view of ensuring that the rights of all eligible voters are protected, and that the names of persons who are not eligible to be on the voters list in conformity with our laws are struck off.
Yes, that's what electoral reform is about. However, Mr. President, you allowed the very thing to continue. You didn't stop it. Furthermore, a lot of people are thinking you have a problem. They're thinking you are suffering from dementia. A lot of people are thinking the president is suffering from dementia as a result. I mean, there's the question about the letter that was sent to the opposition leader, well, quote-unquote opposition leader Lennox, in terms of saying, okay, electoral reform has not been done, and we think that the election should be stopped or whatever, take out your right or whatever, and put back what has been, established already, so that when electoral reform comes in, you can then, we can then have free and fair elections. But on the notice, it wasn't him that was responding, it was his secretary that was responding. Don't you guys find that a bit interesting or a bit baffling, maybe? Anyways, let's continue right here.
There should therefore no longer be any room for animosity, quarrels, hateful speech, and conflicts on the matter of electoral reform, which is a continuing process and not a short-term, once and for all exercise.
You see, one thing I like about this whole situation is when you see they're talking, there's recorded evidence of them speaking, but then you know of this situation, you know everything, and yet still you still allow the election to continue.
We need also to empower the Electoral Commission to proceed with the exercise of issuing ID cards, which will be used for voting by approving the necessary legislation.
And it was going to happen this month. Yet still the Prime Minister literally called election. Before all this was implemented, you are the president. You can override the Prime Minister. But you choose not to do this. This is your words you have stated there on camera. And they completely go against your words by just calling election, snap election. The electoral commissions, I was told, are not even ready for it as yet. So
we need also to encourage confidence in the institutions of the state and the mechanisms they provide for resolving differences.
And that has not been done yet. Election is called. Anyways, guys, I was gonna go to Scare It On one time, but let me go to Dennis BYRON. So Dennis BYRON did not anticipate the general election being called in Dominica this year. He did not anticipate. That is him, by the way. Let us zoom in on this thing so those with cataract or those without glasses can see. Anyways, so it appears that, like many Dominicans, Sir Dennis BYRON, who was tasked by the very government to call election of Dominica to be the sole commissioner to advance efforts towards electoral reform in the Nature Isle of the Caribbean, was taken by surprise when Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit called a snap election slated for December 6. In his response to a letter sent to him by the National Joint Action Movement, NJAM, Sir Dennis said he did not expect that a general election would have been called on the island in 2022. That is this year. This is what he said. Permit me to sincerely apologize for not updating you on the status of the work being undertaken. I'm thinking he's talking about NJAM right there when NJAM wrote the letter. So he's apologizing on not giving them the information. BYRON wrote in a letter, I did not anticipate that the general election would have been called this year and anticipated consulting with your organization before the end of the year. He did not anticipate general election being called. But the Prime Minister someone must have thought, hey, he's gonna be organizing electoral reform. Might as well, by God's grace. Well, not by God's grace, forget that. By his own grace, because that is definitely not God's grace. He decided to call elections on that time, completely neglecting all what the presidency, to avoid these matters of calling people names and all kind of things, the arguments that would take place for electoral reform. He knows these things. This was 2020, in year 2020, February 14th. February 10th, sorry. February 14th is not Valentine's dinner. I don't know. He said all these nice things. Look, two of them, you know. This is the Prime Minister's president and this is the Prime Minister's Mr. Speaker of the House. Because Mr. was campaigning. That fella you see in there, he was on stage the other day campaigning for the Labour Party. But Scary no easy, boy. When Scary taking the Mr. Speaker of the House to come and campaign on his stage and say, no, you have to speak. I paying you all the money. I paying you there for you to do what I tell you to do in the House of Assembly or Parliament. You have to come and campaign. We want you to come and campaign. Come on this stage. He couldn't say no. I'm just thinking maybe that is what happened behind closed doors. Because he was on the stage campaigning and he's supposed to be a neutral figure. How on earth you supposed to be a neutral figure campaigning bright in people's face with red shirt? And not just that, you know, guys. If you notice some of the things that the events that he's a part of, he's always in a red shirt. He's always in a red shirt because maybe they're giving him, maybe, but maybe that. He getting his cooler too. Help us, Father. So the whole system is infiltrated. The whole system is infiltrated for mere dollars, while they're killing the economy, they're killing where you live in, and you're hoping that whichever children that you make would grow up and be productive citizens in society. That making sense to you? By the way, guys, the ambulance is passing back and forth. You can check out the previous, I actually did a vlog today on the oil spill that took place in Picard, but there's another one. So there was an accident that took place earlier on, and then an accident just took place about 30 minutes ago in Secret Bay. So there was another oil spill and a vehicle went off the road. From my understanding of what I was told, a vehicle then went off the road and the ambulance was going back and forth. I don't know how much people I was. Ah, boy. But kudos to the ambulance individuals and the fire truck individuals. I saw the fire truck went on, and I'm guessing they go to clear the road as well. But anyways, guys, let me continue to scare it. So this is scary making pie in the sky promises, no man.
I wish to take this opportunity to address the issue of electoral reform. We made a commitment to the Dominican people in 2019 that we would engage an independent party to look at the issues raised about electoral reform.
And you did that.
We acted promptly in engaging Sir Dennis BYRON.
I don't know about promptly. 100 days after is not promptly. A week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. That's promptly, not 100 days.
President of the Caribbean Court of Justice, former Chief Justice of the OSCS Supreme Court, and Privy Councillor to serve as sole commissioner to investigate and advise on the issues. While the government engaged him, Sir Dennis does not report to the government. The Electoral Commission has been the coordinator of the activities of Sir Dennis, and he has been working very closely with the Commission in carrying out his responsibilities.
November 3rd we that day. November 3rd we. They might talk about electoral reform and all, putting the probability and possibility factors so that electoral reform can be done. November 6th, Lennox get the letter. November 6th, the same day the man call elections.
At the request of the Electoral Commission, the government made additional funding available to the Commission to enable the drafting of new bills to address changes to strengthen our electoral laws.
So you did all this November 3rd, and you call election November 6th. That sounds like the Electoral Commission is prepared.
We expect that when the process has been completed and the draft bills approved by the Electoral Commission, they will be shared with the government, opposition, and other stakeholders for consideration. While we recognize that our electoral laws have allowed for proper conduct of our elections since our independence.
No, they have not. They have not, sir. You can see what you want because you have been using it for your advantage. You have been using it for your advantage. Even OAS unofficially stated that very thing right there and stated that the laws need to be changed. They stated that.
As with everything, there is always room for improvement. We therefore look forward to receiving and implementing the recommendations from this exercise.
So when you finally got it, you then call elections so that these things could not be implemented. Hey.
For some time now, and certainly during this campaign, the issue of electoral reform has been a vexed one. Having reflected on this issue, it is my intention to invite a renowned Caribbean jurist to lead a national commission on electoral reform. The work of that commission, added to all the previous consultancy.
But you rejected the OAS one. You rejected there's one previous to that. Remember, you know, you guys probably don't remember. There was a previous one. I think they asked OAS and another organization to do the electoral reform and present their ideas and whatnot. And he rejected it. Then they saying on stage is UWP for that stop electoral reform to happen. He started the spread boy. That man literally stopped the thing. He rejected it. He rejected it. And then they come in on stage and say it's UWP that stop electoral reform. I remember Ian saying that. Ian that said that. I remember I saw the video. Boy.
And election reports from various international organizations, together with the decision of the courts, will inform the shape of Dominica's electoral reform.
Nothing has been done. Literally nothing has been done. You call elections again. 2019 that was, you know, guys. 2019 that was. 2022 we know. The man call elections again. And none of what he's saying there is like coming and saying nice things on the radio. We're going to be doing an airport. Next day when you see we coming, you guys need to vote us in so that next day when we come, international airport going to start. It sounds nice. 6 years later. No, sorry. 8 years later. International airport. International airport still not built. So what they did when they call elections this time, remember guys, grass had take over the international airport, you know. Bare grass take over international airport. When they call for elections next day, it had some people going to clear the very grass that was growing. But how people not seeing these things there, boy? How people, I understand people going for the C1 thing, I understand that. But how people not seeing these things there baffles me, you know. And if you know a man is constantly bringing your country down and bringing you down and taking away the opportunities that the country has by potential, and there's nothing being done about that, yet still a person is making rum and party for you to come, for them to make it seem as if, hey, a lot of you guys come to support us. A lot of you guys come to support. Look at the numbers out there when they know they're bringing the people just to come and have party and see whoa. Not the policies. I know there's a clear difference when United Workers Party and DLP were giving anything. I used to be in DLP campaign too, you know. And I remember being on this stage listening to them and I checking, but I looking at those people and none of those people care about what those people say. On the DLP stage, None of those people care what those people say. They just hope for a cool out. And I remember going at the back. People used to wonder why I end up on this stage. I was on DLP stage, you know. I was on DLP stage. And man wonder in the cage at in the thing and they checking how come I'm on this stage. And they know I open speaker about what is taking place. And they man checking how come I on top there. And some people used to vex with me. But then when I went at the back and I used to hear these people talking and they checking, boy, they getting the cool out. Well, they call it cool out, they get certain things. And as a result of they know I wouldn't put out their business. That's why they were saying these things. This is why I know what goes on behind closed doors. Because people know I'm not going to sell them out when they're talking about the truth of what is taking place. This is why I come and warn people. It's not just me coming and say things. I come and warn people about what is taking place behind closed doors. But if you know much things I know about, boy, even ministers, okay then.
Public hearings will be held throughout the country.
Has that happened, sir?
And all Dominicans will be able to appear before the commission and give their views.
Has that happened? Guys, you hear in the Prime Minister talk, it's like when Mr. talk, he's just lie alone, he lying, you know. What truth has he said when he came? The policies, they have a manifesto that they had last election. I don't know if they're going to have one this election. They might as well just re-put the same thing that they have in last elections in this one, because what has been done? They're giving people house for them to stay loyal to them so they can vote them back in. That is the basis of progress in Dominica. Where you giving people house that they can't. Boy, I tell you, boy. It don't easy in the nature in this Commonwealth, nah. It don't easy not to just fathom and understand what is actually taking place. It is one thing when you stay blind to things and say, okay, whatever it is, but it's a hell of a thing when you know what is taking place and you still just continue like nothing has happened. Nothing is happening. The man coming on video, the man. That is a kind of that is a old mystery, boy. That is the audacity that there we. The man coming and he know he been recording on video. He can say what he want on video, make the people feel nice. And then when it comes down to action, does absolutely nothing or the complete opposite of what he say he's going to be doing to implement strategies to develop the people. They're talking about entrepreneurship. What is the entrepreneurship in Dominica? They then take the girl in pay bush to make it seem as, hey, look, she doing well and whatnot. There's a limitation of what is taking place in Dominica. The opportunities are very limited. And not just the opportunities are limited, the spending power is also limited. So even if you see one person, their entrepreneurship, yeah, look, she doing and whatnot. What you know, what connection she have with the government for them to push our things further is my people. It's not all the people are benefiting, no, because labor rights does meet me in Postman and saying, boy, I say, no, put that in the newspaper. You're not going to get me no kind of trickery there. Put it in the newspaper, put it on the news, and I'll react to it. You know, when I'm trying enough, they just come for me to put things out there, you know. They don't want to come for their face to be shown, but they want me to be the tebe to just come on. I looking like a fool. I looking like a fool to you. I look like I rose. I looking like a fool to you. I looking like a fool to you. Huh? Put it on the newspaper and react to it. Anyways, guys.
Provision will be made for anonymous submissions, as well as for an open discussion forum on social media sites.
Has this been done? You see, he's talking again. Just talking because it sounds nice. What, he gonna have open forum, we boy, and talk about what? But he inclusive, he really inclusive for real, man, like he said it back in the day. In 2004. He really inclusive, man. He trying to bring us social media. We on all of us on social media. He including us, man.
These, my dear friends, constitute the priority agenda of the first 100 days of the new administration of the Dominica Labour Party.
And it came through, well, not really come through, but I mean, 100 days from 2019 is not 2022. Eh? There are 365 days in a year, so if you take 100 days and it's 2022, so I think you're a bit off. You're a bit off in this regard. I could be wrong. You guys can let me know I could be wrong. But it's a hell of a thing when Dennis BYRON. This is what he stated right there, you know, guys. I bring it back for all you. This is what he stated in the letter. Permit me to sincerely apologize for not updating you on the status of the work being undertaken. BYRON wrote in a letter, I did not anticipate at all. None of us anticipated. Baby Scary Safi didn't even anticipate that. until he realized Lennox said the letter about electoral reform and checking what? That same day election had to call, boy. I did not anticipate that the general elections would have been called this year. It's supposed to be called most likely in 2025 from my understanding, or 2024. No, 2025, because election 2019, the first sitting is in 2020. So therefore it's 5 years from there. It's after the first, so 2025. So he called it in 2022, which is like 2 years. Because if the first sitting is in 2021, January 2021 or February, whichever it is, 2 years would be in 2022. 2023 January, make it complete the 2 years. Boy, that is something else, and that did not happen. Anyways, guys, I want you guys to listen to this. I myself, let me take out that girl. I do like that girl at all. Let me take out Mamzelle. Yeah, Mamzelle not supposed to be there. Mamzelle not supposed to be there at all. All you just want to know, sir. Anyways, go ahead, uncle.
This is actually unprecedented in the whole of the Commonwealth.
Yep.
Where you have an opposition refusing to contest the election
because there's no electoral reform,
and the party in power calling a snap election when there's an outstanding commission report paid for by the citizens.
Paid for, you know. $650,000, I was told. $650,000 we paid by Dominican people money for electoral reform. And the Prime Minister decided, I don't care. We up in the sea, whoa. That is a song like that, I'm guessing. But he said he don't care. Call elections, even if the monies were put forth for electoral reform. And people don't realize what is going on, boy.
And still calls a snap election. And with 3 years left.
3 years,
and goes further and removes the entire almost slate, 4 major ministers who has been there a long time, who's supposed to be building this great country that he said he's been doing for the last 20 years. So
he said they have done a great job during the whole Rona situation and the Erica situation and Maria situation. They have done so great a job that you decide in this one, let me kick them out. Furthermore, it's not you that have the right to kick them out. It's the people who elect these people. I don't understand how people are allowing this to happen. Just like Granby allowing a man that is not even from Granby that will understand the struggle of Granby to be their pal rep. He came in and has what has he done? What has he done? I wonder if the lady that was crying about her cement, she don't get her cement in 2019. She want to get her cement in the last by-election in Granby. I wonder if she get her cement because she said that she want for her vote. She want a cement. I don't think she get it. No, but you know they will always vote even though they don't get it. That's the thing with people. People don't understand. If you constantly put somebody in position to do something for you and they're not doing it, they test you out to see if you will vote for me again. You vote for them again. They're not doing it. They tell you they're doing it because it sounds nice. Next election, you vote for them again. My God, I don't care. What are you doing? What are you doing for you? You still going to vote for me? What are you doing for you? And people don't understand that very thing. That is a dangerous route to have. This is why I don't tell people about OI's UWPI. That is nonsense. You have to be an understanding of what is taking place in the economy and realize if that government is doing things for you or not. And not by doing things by giving you money. So they are there to be held in positions so they can put things in the economy that can be conducive for the use of everybody. For everybody. And people not seeing that they're checking boys. Me. The government them greedy, the people them greedy, so everybody looking for themselves and not realizing that they are affecting their own future. NEP, continue.
He's been doing all by himself, which is what he's trying to say.
Yep.
He doesn't need anybody.
He doesn't need them. He lambastes them, lashing them. And I know at one point in time when I look at the video and I look at his eyes and I know he was talking about Ian Douglas. I know without a shadow of a doubt. I know he's Ian he was talking about. In particular, but he was referring to all his people. This is why he keeps talking about saying, oh, these people don't do nothing. When you call them, they say they're busy. But when it's to fly overseas, they're ready. because they're not there for the people. I mean, you that put them there is not there that elected themselves. No, the original members that he's talking about right there were elected by the people, true. But the other people coming in, you that putting them in positions to represent the people, and the people just taking that, boy. The people just taking that, boy. And that is what they like. Okay then.
The senior guys. All you need is some junior people around.
For him to boss them around and tell them what to do, and they have to obey, or they will fire you, or he will fire them.
So this is unprecedented.
Yeah, this is some strange stuff that is happening in Dominica, and people are allowing that to happen, and that is what I cannot fathom. I cannot fathom these things. Maybe you guys can help me out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment box below. Maybe I want to see what you guys have to say about this whole situation right there, because I cannot fathom this for the life of me. The man come in, make electoral people come and work with Dennis BYRON for them to create things in preparation for 2025, or maybe they want to call it 2024, whichever one. And the man call elections on the same time the opposition receive it, and then come in and campaign on stage to lambaste his own team, we boy. And his own team will still come in next campaign and say, yeah, yay, he is the man for us, after he come and lash all you on stage. You think human beings so easy? You think human beings so easy? Well, probably it's the culture that they are accustomed of, which is why I asked in the last election, the last video. You guys need to check that out. Is the government of the Dominica Labour Party a cult? My camera just died there, guys. But is the Dominica Labour Party a cult? And it's clear that they're always pointing to this carried partner as if he's the Messiah. He has done no wrong. Whatever he says is law. That is it. I remember the man even correcting the Mr. Speaker of the House. He corrected the Mr. Speaker of the House, and the Mr. Speaker to abide by his rule. Even though when Lennox them was saying that is not the case, he was then correcting the Mr. Speaker. All you don't remember that, man. But I love that so much, eh? And he had to obey. It doesn't that sound like a cult? Maybe it's just me. What are your thoughts, guys? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. This is pretty much all I have for this here reaction video. Man, I tell you, hopefully the individuals who were in the incident in Sunset Bay or around that area are okay. Sunset Bay, Secret Bay, sorry, Secret Bay now. What is that place in Secret Bay, I think? Sunset Bay is in Kulibi Street area. Okay, so it's Secret Bay. Those in the secret sea of Secret Bay. Whatever incident, hopefully you guys pull through. Ambulance come and pick all you up, and man, but I think we need to have some more laws when it comes down to these things. Man does leave in their oil on the road, and man ended up in accident, and then they have to pay. The premiums have to go up. They have to, if they jam somebody, they have to pay these people, and all kind of craziness for something that is not their fault. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on what I spoke about here today. This is pretty much all I've asked for this year reaction video. Give this video a thumbs up if you understand it. If you want to see more, definitely subscribe and turn on that post notification so you can get more vibrations as they tend to come through. And I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Don't forget to check out the previous reaction that I did today. Boom bang.